How do you even get started with a solar business when nobody knows your name? You've printed business cards, maybe even knocked on a few doors, but the phone isn't ringing. And on top of that, every time you turn around, there's another big solar company spending millions on ads, making homeowners believe they're the only game in town. It feels impossible, right? Well, let me tell you the truth. Those big solar giants aren't the safe bet they pretend to be. In fact, many of them are collapsing under their own weight. And that's exactly why small independent installers have more opportunities than ever in 2025. In this video, I'm going to explain everything about the solar industry. I'll show you why the big guys are failing, how independent solar installers are quietly taking over, and the exact steps you can take to build a profitable solar installation business without falling into the same traps. All right, let's get started. Let's start with these big solar gurus, the so-called solar giants. For the past decade, companies like Solar City, Pink Energy, SunNova, and even household names like ADT Solar and SunPower have been selling a dream. They told homeowners, go solar today, no money down, save thousands every year, lock in low rates for life. Sounds amazing, right? But here's what they don't tell you. Solar City, once the biggest player in the US, grew so fast on shaky financing that it had to be bailed out by Tesla. Pink Energy collapsed, leaving angry homeowners with broken systems and massive lawsuits. SunPower, one of the oldest names in the game, is now fighting to stay alive. SunNova is under federal scrutiny for shady sales practices, with reports of customers being misled into contracts they didn't understand. And ADT Solar? Same story. Aggressive sales tactics, over-promising and under-delivering. The pattern is simple. These companies grow fast, chase revenue, and leave homeowners holding the bag. For them, it's a get-rich-quick scheme. Sign as many people as possible, push them into debt financing, then figure out the details later. But when the debt piles up, the customers complain and lawsuits roll in, they collapse. And trust me, homeowners remember who burned them. So what does this mean for you, the independent installer? It means opportunity. Here's the reality. Homeowners don't actually trust big solar anymore. They're sick of sales reps who promise the moon and disappear after the contract is signed. They're tired of calling 1 to 800 numbers just to be put on hold for 2 hours when their system breaks. What they want now is local, personal, reliable service. They want to know the person installing their panels. They want to shake your hand, look you in the eye, and know that if there's a problem, they can call you, not a call center. This is where independent installers shine. You don't have the bloated overhead. You don't need to sign 1,000 customers a month to survive. You just need to do solid work, build relationships, and grow step by step. And the solar market is massive. In 2025, US residential solar is still expected to grow despite big solar companies collapsing because homeowners want energy independence and lower bills. With electricity prices rising and tax credits still available under the Inflation Reduction Act, the demand isn't going anywhere. That means if you're independent, this is your moment. Now let me be real with you. Even though independents have the upper hand, most small installers still fail. And it's not because they can't find customers. It's because they build their business on shaky ground, just like the big players. I've seen it over and over again. Someone gets started with a few installs. They get paid in cash, maybe Venmo, maybe a personal account. They're hustling, but they haven't registered their business, haven't set up contracts, and haven't protected themselves legally. Then one thing goes wrong. A system fails, a customer complains, or worse, someone gets hurt. And because they didn't set up their LLC, their personal assets are now on the line. Their savings, their car, even their house. This is the silent killer of small businesses, not setting up the legal foundation. And that's why, if you're serious about starting a solar installation business, your very first step needs to be setting up your LLC. Your LLC separates your business from your personal life. It protects you from lawsuits, helps you build trust with customers, and makes it easier to land financing and partnerships. And here's the good news. You don't have to spend thousands or waste weeks doing it yourself. I've partnered with Bizee, one of the most trusted LLC formation companies in the US, to get you started for just $0 plus state fees. That's right, Doros. Here's what you get when you set up your LLC with Bizee. Free registered agent service for the first year. Next day processing, so you're up and running fast. A free 30-minute business tax consultation to make sure you're set up right. Unlimited customer support. And they'll even track your order status in real time, so you know exactly where things stand. Normally, that's over $250 worth of value, but you get it free when you use the link in the description below. So don't skip this step. If you're serious about solar, treat it like a real business. Let me share a quick story. I spoke with a small installer who had just started out. He was doing great work, word of mouth was spreading, and he landed a few jobs. But here's the problem. He never set up his LLC. One day, a customer claimed the install wasn't working properly. They threatened legal action. And because he had no LLC, no contracts, and no separation between personal and business, he was at risk of losing everything. Now, luckily, he was able to settle. But not everyone gets that chance. The point is, your craftsmanship and hustle can be top-notch. But if you skip the foundation, you're always one mistake away from disaster. So let's say you're ready to do this the right way. What's the playbook? Here's how independence can win in 2025. Start with your LLC. This is non-negotiable. Protect yourself, build trust, and give your business legitimacy from day one. Educate, don't oversell. Big Solar pushes people into contracts. You should do the opposite. Explain clearly, answer questions, and build long-term trust. Keep costs lean. Subcontract when you need to, grow slowly, and avoid debt traps. Remember, Big Solar collapsed because of bloated overhead. Leverage referrals. Happy customers are your best sales reps. Ask them to spread the word. Focus on service. Be the person they know they can call. That's what separates you from the giants. Follow this playbook, and you'll have the foundation to build a business that lasts. Here's the harsh truth. Big solar companies treated this industry like a get-rich-quick scheme, and now they're paying the price. But the demand for solar hasn't gone anywhere. In fact, it's stronger than ever. The winners in 2025 will be the independents, the people who are willing to start small, build trust, and protect themselves legally. So don't make the same mistakes. All right, let's wrap this up. Big solar companies promised the world and delivered chaos. But that collapse has opened the door for independents to thrive. If you want to be one of them, here's your next step. Hit that like button if this video gave you clarity. Share it with a friend who's been thinking about starting a solar business. And subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown on building profitable businesses in 2025. And most importantly, check the link in the description to set up your LLC with Bizee today. For just $0 plus state fees, you'll save over $250, get your registered agent service free for a year, and be in business legally and safely within 24 to 48 hours. Remember, the opportunity is massive, but only if you build on solid ground. So what are you waiting for? Get started.